If you just joined us, you can introduce yourself in the comments section. Tell us what you do and where you are from, so everyone else can know about you as well. Today we will talk about very interesting topic, which is leverage in project control. We will have very interesting thoughts. It's really like weird that not many people talk about it. So we will have a deep discussion about leverage, what it is and what it does. So hopefully it will help you at your work as well. So it will improve your skills. You can have better career opportunities. You can impress your stakeholders. So there are so many benefits, and we will have a deep discussion about this topic. If you have just joined me right now, yourself in the comment section. Tell us what you do and where you are from. Everyone else can know about you as well. I can see more people are joining me right now. We will start in a couple of minutes until everyone else joins, because we expect more people today. We have a project manager from Canada. Hi, Neil. Okay. Hi, Francois from Cameroon. Interesting. And it's just amazing how we can all connect at the same time with different people across the globe. So it's very fascinating. And yeah, if you have just joined me right now, we will talk about leverage in project control. We will talk about what it means and what it does. It has so many benefits, which will help you excel in your career. Hi, Salahuddin from Saudi. We have Wael from Saudi as well. Hi, Wasim from India. It's good to have you. Hi, Tioko from Indonesia. Roland is a project manager from Latvia. Hi, Mankandan from the UAE. Thank you very much, Manigui. I appreciate it. And we have also Mahmoud from Egypt. He is a planning engineer. Hi, Teresa from Bhutan. And we have Gelis from Algeria. Hi, Murodi from Botswana. We will start in 1 minute. I think enough people have already joined. And if you have just joined me right now, you can do like everyone else. Introduce yourself in the comments section. Tell us what you do and where you are from. And today we will talk about leverage in project control. And this workshop is one of the so many workshops that we have done in the past and we continue to do, so we can help so many engineers worldwide to improve their project control skills, and we have better success rates in our projects, because clearly we have a problem in project control. Many projects are completed over budget and late. So many companies go for disputes. We have so many problems in project control. So hopefully I offer series of workshops to learn the necessary skills and overcome these problems. Hi from Saudi, Junior. Okay, so thank you all for joining me. Let's start right away with the presentation. If you don't know about leverage, or maybe it's the first time you have heard about it, that's all right. I'm gonna explain everything in detail. And I know also that not many people talk about it. All right. So I know many of you have already been following me, but if you have, maybe if you see me for the first time, I'm gonna give a little bit about myself before I move on. I'm a practitioner in project control since 2010, skilled in planning, Power BI, delay analysis, and the claims, bachelor in civil engineering. I studied my MBA in the UK. I did all my research around construction. I worked in super large construction projects, member of PMI and the ASCEI. I served in the past as the director of marketing at AACEI, the UAE chapter. It's a volunteer role, and I am based in the UAE. I offer project control services for companies, delay analysis and the claims consultations, project control training. I am PMP, PSP, and PMISP certified. What will you learn today? The concept of leverage in project control, permissioned versus permissionless leverage. What do qualified planners do differently to produce a lot more work quickly and accurately? If we have two engineers, who is better in planning and the project control? Well, on top of my head, the one who is using or who knows how to use a scheduling software like Primavera, Microsoft Project, or whatever it might be. So, of course, he's better than the engineer who doesn't have these skills, right? Because maybe the engineer on the right knows about planning, but if he will do everything manually, if he has to like calculate total float manually and do everything manually, he will take the whole time, and he will probably produce like less results, you know. So of course the one on the left hand side has longer leverage because he can use the software skills to produce more work. Two engineers, both of them can use a software, a scheduling software. Who is better? Probably the one who is knowledgeable about the project control foundations. He knows about SPI, he knows about CPM calculations, he knows about maybe dashboard design. So he has the foundations plus the scheduling software. So of course he has now longer leverage. By leverage, I mean he has more tools under his belt. So he can produce more work using the skills that he has. And we will go through it in detail right now. Okay, this time, two engineers, both of them got the foundations right and they know how to use a software, a scheduling software. So which one is better? Which one has longer leverage? Of course, the one who has more experience, because let's be honest, you know, experience is a huge factor, because the engineer on the left hand side has years of experience. He can identify problems quickly, and um, he practiced long enough so he has more confidence in using the software. He knows how to troubleshoot errors. So of course experience, you know, is a huge factor, and I'm sure you will agree with me on that. So because right now using experience, he can produce more work in a day than the engineer on the right hand side who lacks experience. All right. Two engineers, the both are knowledgeable about a scheduling software, they got the foundations right, they have experience. Which one is better? The one who can apply automations. The stronger the automation, the better. By automations, I mean that you don't have to do the work manually. You can complete tasks on autopilot. You can, um, like analyze progress within seconds with a click of a button. So you use technology and the software as a leverage. Okay, but why do we need leverage or any form of leverage, right? Because here is an overview about the planning engineer duties. He will collect the progress data, update the schedule in Primavera P6 or Microsoft project, review the outcome or the final result. He needs to identify progress delays and the issues related to engineering, authorities, construction, etc. He will develop recovery measures. He will prepare the progress report. And that's a lot of work to do, right? Maybe communicate issues with the site team, attend the meetings, prepare presentations. Like it's an endless list of duties. And the problem is there is so much work to do, so little time. If I give you 1 month to do all of that, you're gonna be happy about that, about the offer, right? Because you have a whole month to discuss with the team, to take your time and apply formulas, prepare your report, review the outcome. But in real life, you will probably need to do all of that in 2 days. You know, you have like very short window to do all of that, right? So you can't. Nobody has enough time in a day to do all of to do what is expected from them, right? And you have also maybe to monitor the subcontractor's performance. You're gonna check with the suppliers about the materials and the long lead items, you know, and stay up to date. Like there's so much work to do. Construction projects are complex, right? So always remember that you have a very short window to complete the work. Why do we need automation in this case? The concept is not new, I would say. Many industries have been applying automations like banks, IT, fintech, they are all innovating. And you should upgrade your operations to keep up with the demand. So I'm going to give you one example to make it very easy, right? Let's say one bank, okay, large bank in the United States, for example. So let's take large country or big country. Imagine that every transaction has to be processed manually, like every transaction between bank accounts, and it has to be processed and approved in the back office. They will end up with maybe tens of thousands of requests every day. And you might think, all right, so I am having 10 accountants right now. Do you think it's enough? No, it's not enough, 10 accountants. So maybe you will think, all right, so maybe I will increase my manpower or the number of accountants up to 20. Maybe if this will solve the problem. It will not. 20 maybe are not enough. 30 are not enough. 40 are not enough. You need much bigger leverage than that. So I hope you can see where I'm going right now. So because many in construction projects, if it's larger project, you know, like people complain that, you know, we need more qualified planning engineers to do the work, but they still don't deliver the expected results. It was never about the number of planning engineers. The more planning engineers do not mean that you will get better results and the more work done. It's not like that. So you have also so much work to do in a construction project. Risk analysis, extension of time claims, right? The whole list that I just explained few moments ago, right? So more planning engineers will not solve the problem, but we are still stuck. We have this fixed mindset that more manpower will solve the problem, right? So that's why they have automations, you know, like you can the transaction is processed instantly. You're gonna receive an SMS to confirm the transaction. When you call customer service, they cannot identify you manually as well. Like you have to provide some information, and the system will recognize you and identify you as a customer quickly. They just can't, you know, if they just can't process information manually, you know, because they cannot keep up with the workload and demands. So that's why they have to apply automation, right? So that's how they can identify you quickly once you enter certain information. Because if you hire 30 more customer service representatives, it will not solve the problem. And in many cases, you want to hire more planning engineers as a leverage, right? Because you think that it will help you get the work done, but sometimes the workload, the monster is so big that you cannot deal with. And if you want a proof, like you can check at your company or all companies around you. Do you feel that planning engineers deliver the expected results? I doubt it. I mean, they do their best, right? But it is not enough. And you might argue with me right now and say, but you know what? Thanks, but we are happy with what we are doing. We complete projects, we get the work done. Yes, we increase manpower, we sacrifice certain things, but we still get the work done. But yes, we did that, but it came at a huge price. We paid for that. More projects are completed late and over budget, more losses, more disputes. Like it has been around for too long. You can search Google about the history of disputes in construction. It started in ancient Egypt when we built the pyramids. We had shortage of materials, we had disputes. So it has been going on for a long time. If you apply automation and work smart, I'm not saying that it will prevent disputes, but the chances of not having one will go up, right? Because right now we can deal with the workload, we can deliver what is expected from us. All right, that's what 99% of planning engineers do. All right, so more hours translate to the amount of output. Maybe one planning engineer is working for longer hours, or maybe you have a team of planning engineers, who work at the same time. So it doesn't matter how many planning engineers do you have, but it's in the number of hours. The more hours you put in the work, the longer you work, the more work you get done. If you do that right now, you have to stop immediately because you are doing something wrong. You can't beat the monster on your own, right? So I'm sure many of you follow this model. They work harder, longer hours every day, but they barely get the work done. They wish to do more, but they can't because the monster is so huge. So if you are doing that, stop immediately and maybe try to implement what I'm going to explain today. Okay. So I'm just checking that the setup is going fine. Right. And because everyone has 24 hours a day, and right now that more planning engineers will not solve the problem. What options do we have to deal with this problem? We have permissioned leverage and we have permissionless leverage. It's not a concept that I came up on my own. I knew about it from Naval Ravikant. He's a guy who introduced this concept, so I just knew about it, and I think it's very interesting to apply it in project control as well. Permission leverage means that someone has to give you a permission to do the work. You don't have 100% control on the situation. Projects are very complex and expensive to plan and control. We have labor leverage, right? You can hire more planning engineers to deal with the workload, but the planning engineer has to accept and sign the offer letter, and they have to agree to stay until the project ends. So it's a permission because someone has to give you the permission, has to give the company or the team the permission. You don't have full control about it. if the planning engineer left in the middle of the project, you just don't have control over it, you know. So it's that's why it's a permission leverage. Money leverage, the company has to agree on the team capacity, number of planning engineers, and what budget. Is still a permission leverage because you wish to have 10 planning engineers in your team, but your budget allows for two only, right? So it's a leverage. You can use money as a leverage. The higher, the more, the better, because you can hire more qualified planning engineers, but you are still need permission, or it is not it's not within your control 100%. Disadvantages of permission leverage: a planning engineer might go on a sick leave on the same day the report submission is due. It happens, right? You cannot control it. Sometimes you need to plan for team rotations during annual leaves. So it has many disadvantages. Let's talk about permissionless. You don't need permission from anyone. You have 100% control over the situation, plus many advantages, and you don't have to deal with the disadvantages that you will often face with the permissioned leverage. You don't need permission from anyone. By permissionless, like using a software like Power BI, Advanced Excel, Power Pivot tables, macros, like all of that. So there are amazing software tools at your disposal. You can use them anytime, and you don't need permission. Like you know, unlike permissioned leverage, you don't face these limitations. My favorite part is you will be able to remove the connection between the number of hours and the effort you put and the outcome you get. So, you remember that chart I showed you, like the relationship between hours and output. You don't have to deal with that anymore. And we will come back to that in a second. It's available 24/7, right? Um, like if like you don't have to deal with sick leaves, for example, or annual leaves or rotations. It's available 24/7 at your disposal. The software doesn't get sick or go for annual leave, and it doesn't really consume a lot from your time to review the results. Because if you want to review the report, you're gonna maybe ask a planning engineer to review the report, but with a software, you can leverage technology to get the work done and also configure data quickly. And let me show you a quick example about what I mean inside Power BI, then we continue. Right? So first of all, okay, so I'm not gonna go explain everything in detail because it is not the purpose of this workshop. I just want to introduce you to the leverage, and hopefully it will change your mindset about how to do your work. Okay. And maybe I'm asking you right now to check the progress status 2 weeks ago. You probably need to put in the time to do it. So you're gonna go back to the submission folder and open the progress report 2 weeks ago and maybe check. It is gonna take maybe a couple of minutes, so that's 2 minutes for this task. And all right. So what I wanna ask you, okay, 2 weeks ago, don't give me the overall progress status. I wanna see the concrete status. Okay, you're gonna maybe do some work. It's gonna take maybe, if you are really good, maybe 10 more minutes. All right. And but with Power BI, like if I want to check the progress 2 weeks ago, with one click I get it. So I saved the 2 minutes right now. And if I want concrete, so I'm gonna check concrete and I get the dashboard and everything related to concrete. So I saved 10 more minutes, right? Because I don't have to do it then the traditional way. I don't have to do it manually inside Primavera or any other scheduling software. The problem is, in real life, we deal with similar requests, right? And we don't often feel how much time we waste every day to fulfill these requirements. 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there, 5 more minutes there. So when you really track your time and how productive you are, you're gonna end up wasting hours every week, and then maybe, like, if you're gonna waste maybe like 2 hours every day doing that, because of the manual work, you're gonna have maybe 10 hours wasted in a week. That's 40, maybe a month, and it's gonna be like 400 plus in a year, right? So that's a lot of time to be wasted. So imagine that you have 400 hours to focus on things that matter the most, right? So over the course of a year, you're going to have more time to initiate meetings with subcontractors, to focus on opportunities for extension of time claims, to communicate better with the site team, to develop recovery measures, to stay on track. Like, there is so much work you can do because you applied leverage, you know, to do that. The problem is, humans are amazing, right? We built great things, right? We can develop amazing model like that inside Power BI. We created Primavera. We are so, we are capable of so many great things. The problem is, humans have limited processing speed. We have serious limitations in that. We can invent, but if I gave you a complex calculation, you can do that inside Excel in 10 seconds. But if you do it, if you want to perform the same, or do the calculation using your brain, you're gonna take, longer than that. So we have really, uh, we are limited with the processing speed. Nothing is wrong with that, but if you want to depend on your brain and the processing speed to manage construction projects worth millions of dollars, think again. Okay, that's my only takeaway from this workshop. You just can't. You can't beat the monster on your own. You can have five planning engineers, all qualified, but yes, maybe some people are intelligent or clever, you have, but you cannot process all information quickly and accurately and get the results that you want. You can't just check in with all suppliers, subcontractors, initiate meetings, uh, you know, um, monitor every activity in the schedule, and do all of that. So it's just, you can't do it, right? Right. So I'm gonna give you one example. So what we want to do is, to do the work, you can hire more planning engineers. It's one form of leverage. Remember the first slide I showed you? You can use experience as a leverage, of course. It's one form of leverage. More experienced planning engineers will deliver better results. You can hire planning engineers who master the foundations and who are knowledgeable. It's one form of leverage. You can hire more planning engineers who are um, skilled in automation, which will give you, like, in my opinion, automation is, I mean, like, there are many types of leverage, but automation will give you the bigger impact, okay, or the, let's say, the best return on your time. And the more automation you apply, the better the return. So one example for, let's say, that's one dashboard. It's in Excel, and many people are, creating the dashboard using Excel. I was used to do that for long time, so nothing is wrong with that. So you're gonna fill in the information, and It's gonna probably take maybe 1 hour to do the dashboard, and maybe that's the whole report. Maybe it's gonna take you 1 day or two. So, right, and you do your best to apply automation, right? So you want to apply formulas. Okay, one way, like for example, let's look at the date here. Report data date, and let's look at this chart. It's the days elapsed versus days remaining. You can do it updated manually if you want, or you can apply formulas. Like let's say that's 17. 1 year later, of course, it changed automatically. So that's one form of automation. You don't have to do the task on your own manually, but you delegated the task to a software, right, or a technology. So that's one form of automation. And when you you know do the best, like I'm not like, because people have different skills and the backgrounds, so I don't expect everyone to be perfect. I'm not perfect, by the way. I'm still learning, by the way, and improving my systems. So everyone is will continue to learn, but just do your best to apply automations. If there is one task you can do using automation, do it. It's gonna save you 1 minute here, 2 minutes there, 5 minutes there, and you're gonna end up saving a lot of time. The good thing about Power BI is you don't need to spend 2 days to complete a report. You can do that within seconds on autopilot. You just complete the update inside Primavera or Microsoft project, and within, like, it takes 30 seconds to update everything inside Power BI. So you click refresh and everything is updated. You're gonna, the whole data will be populated inside Power BI and everything. So of course that's, like 2 days, but Power BI is really advanced level. So that's only one example. It's one extreme, but that's the power of automation. This way, you have just saved 2 days, you know, using the software. And because basically what I'm doing is I have SPI, right? So every week I will calculate the SPI. So I apply the formulas, earned value divided by planned value to get the SPI. But what if I automate it? So I tell Power BI, get these two values and execute a division operation to get me this result, right? So that's SPI is immediately calculated. When you look around, you can really find many opportunities where you can apply leverage and automation. But what I have seen is many planning engineers right now use other forms of leverage. So they use like manpower or more planning engineers. They use experience as a leverage. But I'm sure you agree with me right now that more planning engineers will not solve the problem. In the same way, 10 more accountants will not solve the problem of manual bank transactions. So you really need automation. You can't do everything on your own because we have limited processing speed. That's why you have to delegate your work. More planning engineers, but it will not solve the problem. So you want to delegate the task to technology and software. Like as I showed you in Power BI, I delegated the SPI calculation to Power BI. I calculated the concrete dashboard to Power BI. Right? You just that's how you wanna go about it. You can also use complex Excel formulas if you want, because basic formulas will have like limited results. So, for example, this formula I showed you right now, and the days elapsed versus days remaining, I want to also include more factors and parameters so I can apply complex advanced Excel formula that will take more inputs to get more outputs, because basic formulas will consist of maybe two parameters, one input and one output, but you want to really combine more inputs and have a nice flow, in your Excel sheet. So you wanna, apply formulas as necessary to recall information from different cells, and you wanna have the report. Hopefully, like the report or all elements will talk to each other. That's the ultimate goal. So you wanna have really, if you really wanna apply use Excel, you have to use complex Excel formulas, uh, pivot tables, right? It will help you leverage the technology and get more work done for your limited time. Power pivot macros. And by the way, I know some of you have questions. If you have any question, you can type it in the comments section. And at the end of the workshop, I'm gonna go over all questions and answer them one by one. But why do I prefer Power BI? Personally, I'm gonna convince you. Yes, pivot tables are amazing, but you can find the equivalent in Power BI, which is queries. You can use Power Pivot in Excel. And if you don't know about, of course, you can learn anything online right now. If you don't know about pivot tables or Power Pivot, you can educate yourself and search YouTube. So Power Pivot is the equivalent of a model in a Power BI. Macros, we have the equivalent of, which is called applied steps. And I received this response from some planning engineers over time. They will say something like, thanks, but no thanks. The we are doing so well. We complete our work, we get the project done, and we are really doing well with Excel. And I only have one response, right? Both Excel and the Power BI are Microsoft products. Okay, so if Excel is enough to do the work, why did Microsoft introduce Power BI? I hope it makes sense. The good thing about Power BI is it's a one-stop shop. So when you learn about the software, you can apply macros and get the benefits of macros without creating them or without learning about them. You can use applied steps, which is very user friendly. You don't Pivot tables have some challenges for the normal user. You can use pivot tables inside Power BI without having to learn about pivot tables. You can use queries, which is very user friendly. The same way will apply for a model. So that's what I'm saying. Like if you want to go to the data analytics, automation, and systems side of project control, Power BI is way more efficient. When you get your time back, hopefully, you can now focus on things that matter the most. Perform delay analysis and prepare notices of extension of time. Improve key reporting elements such as progress dashboards. So right now, think about it as a machine. Okay, you are building a machine like the Power BI model I showed you right now. It's a machine. So each machine has gears. Okay, so one gear is the dashboard, another gear is a progress matrix, another gear is variance analysis. So all gears are working together in harmony, as a part of the machine. So right now you don't have to do the work manually and spend the time doing so. You can improve your gears. So I'm gonna go over the dashboard gear, really improve it and enhance it because I have more time right now to, and maybe fix errors, maintain the machine, add some lubricants. You know what I mean? You can work with a project team to recover delays. You can draft contractual correspondences that will help the project move forward. You can attend the more progress meetings with subcontractors, clients, and other stakeholders to highlight potential project risks. And guess what? That's what you are supposed to do as a planning engineer. The problem is there is so much work to do, so little time. You only have like 24 hours a day, and you can't beat the monster So you can't do all of that. You barely get the work done. Like submit a report and that's it. But you cannot really initiate more actions and contribute to the project success. Because if you can't highlight alarms and the project delays and recovery measures to the team, subcontractors, and suppliers, who will? Because you are the only one who has access to this information. And if you don't initiate, the or you don't initiate actions, who will? Nobody will, because nobody is skilled enough or has the knowledge to do that. You can show your automation skills to stakeholders. You like it or not, people are impressed by good work, right? I have been there, I have seen it, right? Like when you have an interactive model like Power BI or even Excel, and you are in a presentation right now and you show the client your work, or even in your site team, you gain recognition, you build a reputation of knowledgeable and skilled planning engineer, and people are attracted toward that. So it's good, to build this reputation in your team as well. You can also show it in your CV, and you can attach snapshots of Power BI figures and the charts in your CV. You can add a link of the Power BI model inside your CV, and the hiring manager will click on that link. It will help you stand out from the crowd, right? Because I'm sure this is how the CV of many of you will looks like. You're gonna maybe add something like, okay, you can use Primavera, you can do delay analysis and extension of time claims, you can prepare reports, you can, like everyone does that, right? Like if the duties that you mentioned are not so special, so you have to stand out and offer something unique. Interactive model, yes, now you got my attention. And the people, I know it's a harsh truth, because I used to believe that, I used to believe that I'm special, and I have all this knowledge, but I was wrong, right? Because you think that, you can prepare a report or use a Primavera, and why don't you get better opportunities? It's because while you do that, some like other people are really killing it. They are reading delay analysis books every day, they take training, they use Power BI, they master automation, like they are killing it every day, and you just have no chance against someone. You cannot outcompete someone who is like that. It's a harsh truth, I know, because I was there, so I know how it feels. So we need really to see the reality as it is, not the way you want it to be. Okay, think about that. Let that sink in. It's a marathon. It's not a race. Start right now. Learning about Excel, Power BI. Slowly over time, you improve your automations, gain more experience over time. So it's a marathon, really. So it takes time. But I'm trying to open your eyes about what needs to be done. Try to figure out any opportunities that you can use to apply automation and leverage, of course, in general, and try to find a way to stand out from the crowd. Attach your extension of time claim with your CV, right? When you walk in an interview, you will not just talk about the normal duties. You can show the hiring manager, you can bring your laptop, show him that what you are able to do, show him that you can use Power BI, how you can use leverage. You can actually teach him about the leverage concept and why we need to buy our time back so we can do more amazing things, and how we can save time, because we cannot beat the monster, because the planning in all, like more planning engineers will not solve the problem. You can educate him, and hopefully he can be impressed, and you will have better opportunities. But don't go through the beaten path, right? like, write the same duties, talk about the same things in an interview. So I hope it makes sense. So let's take some of the questions. All right. So, okay, I know more people joined us, but I'm not gonna go over all comments because I wanna take advantage of or utilize the time we have so we can answer more questions and add benefit to more people. A question from Lucky: do you offer training on Power BI? Yes, I offer. I have a very comprehensive course. You can go to my website here on the top left, smartpmtraining.com. It's a comprehensive course. It has data analytics. It will teach you how to use Power BI from A to Z. And it is meant for planning engineers because I know um, you can learn the Power BI from anywhere, but my course is dedicated or directed toward planning engineers. I'm not going to talk more about the course because not everyone is interested in the course, but feel free to check all details. And if you have any further questions, you can come back to me and I will answer them for you. How complex is Power BI? It looks quite complex. Any tips how to learn it in an organized fashion? It's a bit different than Excel. I'm not saying that I'm not, like some people use it. It's not like rocket science, and it's gonna feel uncomfortable at the beginning, like any other new. I'm not gonna lie to you, like it's gonna feel uncomfortable. Like maybe remember the first time you used the Primavera. I still remember the feeling. I hated Primavera. I did not like it. I was frustrated. But over time, like because I had to use it, like I was forced to use it, so it's easier for me to use Primavera right now. It's just like anything else, right? Maybe you were struggling with Excel in the past with formulas, but over time you got better at it. You can troubleshoot errors and configure data properly. Power BI, you're just gonna give it some time. You can educate yourself about Power BI, take it, slowly, and you will be there. Okay, and I don't see. Let me see if there are any more questions. Okay, we have a question. I am a planning engineer in Algeria. I usually use Primavera. I want to start working with Power BI. What training would you recommend to me? I have already talked about it. So we have so many, like we have Muhammad joined us from Saudi, Muhammad Shabir from Qatar, Shamsuddin Hai, Samuel from Ghana, Abdurrahim from Dubai, Hasib from Pakistan, Salah from Bangladesh, Kemha, Kemhak from Cambodia, Mahasua from Lesotho, Salahuddin, hi. Here is a question from Daniel. I am a mechanical engineer and I want to do MBA. Kindly guide me, please. I have done MBA, by the way, so here's my advice on that. Uh, like if you want to continue as a planning engineer, I really recommend that you learn the practical skills. Don't go for academic degrees. You probably have your engineering degree because you said mechanical engineer. But I think there is a transition in the market right now. Maybe some of you do not feel it, but I feel it. I have been in the industry long enough to see the transitions and mindset shifts. A master degree was used to be really a good asset, but right now it's really changed. You know, so before, like maybe 10 years ago, if you have a master degree from a good university, it will, you know, it will help you get a spotlight, you know, get shortlisted and get better career opportunities. But over time, employers realized that this graduate who has an outstanding master degree doesn't know how to prepare a progress curve or prepare extension of time claims or deal with clients or get the work done. So they learned the lesson over time. And another reason is over time we have a bigger pool of candidates with online job portals. Like anyone, like if you post a job right now, like the whole world is, can see it. So right now they have become so picky and selective about whom to hire. So at the same time, master degrees get more expensive. They don't get they don't get any cheaper. They become more expensive time because of the inflation. So they get more expensive, but you don't get a better return on investment. So my opinion is, if you have time for self-improvement, read practical books. You can go to my website, smartpmtraining.com. You can download project control guide. It has the list of my recommended books you can read from practitioners, people who are older than us, more experienced and more knowledgeable than us. We can learn from them, and it's gonna help you a lot in your work. And you can also learn practical things. Everything. I feel like you can go to my YouTube channel. We have 100 plus videos right now. You can check also the recordings of my workshops. Everything I share with you is practical, right? 100% practical. I don't believe in the theoretical content. I don't know how to prepare a theoretical content, even though I want. Like it's just I can't do it. I came from professional background. I got my hands dirty in planning and the project control. So I'm oriented. I just over time I become someone to have a practical mindset, to do anything I do in a way that will add value and help the projects move forward. So that's my background. So learn, go to my YouTube channel. You can go to my website. We have many free resources as well. You can start educating yourself, but learn practical content. So when you are an interview, you show the hiring manager that you can get the work done. From Madhokar, I wanted to learn a complete planning system, smart working updates system. Okay, so it's a process, right? So maybe if you are starting out, you need to learn Primavera, maybe become good at it, improve your Excel skills over time, and when you deal with challenges on daily basis, you will be forced to innovate in your systems and apply leverage. It's gonna be a process. Abdulaziz, is Power BI tool for reporting and the dashboard, or need advice for tracking the progress and the planning? Of course, Power BI can be used for monitoring and controlling. If you wanna, I did not talk much about Power BI in this workshop, but you can go to my website and I have a free masterclass about all Power BI benefits. So feel free to check it out. Hi, Fazlur from Qatar. Hi, Khaja. Wanted to learn delay analysis from you. Okay, so thank you for your interest. I also have comprehensive delay analysis and the claims. So they are all in the same course: how to perform delay analysis and how to prepare extension of time claim step by step. You can go to my website and check all course details. All right. So we have Tirtha. We are looking for Power BI trainer. Uh, yeah, we have a service for corporate training. You can reach out to me by email, and we see how we can work together and maybe help you out. Junior, difference between physical and the financial progress. What do you mean by financial? Like, is it maybe cost wise? You know, basically, we need some metrics in the schedule as a weighting system. So we report the progress based on man hours and the cost. From Ahmed, while working with an engineering team, which criteria are the best to use for prioritizing projects in the portfolio? We have 100 plus projects and would like to have priorities. Here is my opinion about engineering, dealing with engineering as a planning engineer, because I have tried many things, right? Like, but my opinion about engineering is you have to use your expert judgment. I know you wished for a better answer. You wished for like cost loading or some metrics or but for engineering, you cannot you can depend on like number of submittals, but not the workload is equal among all submittals, right? Maybe one shop drawing will take you 1 week to complete, and maybe another layout will take you half day to complete. You cannot just depend on the number of submittals. So to factor that, you have to use your expert judgment, or maybe the number of hours estimated from the team to complete the engineering submittals or the engineering work. From Hosa, how can I contact you on one? I don't know what is it about, but if you have any questions, you can email me and I will get back to you. Hi, Ashu from Ukraine joined us. You are welcome, Khaja. Okay, so I don't see any more questions. So I'm not gonna waste your time, but thank you so much for coming over and joining me today. It was a lovely workshop, and I was happy to be with you. And hopefully, you found this workshop somewhat informative, and hopefully, you learned something, and it will help you at your work. You will continue to learn and grow. So keep moving forward, and I will see you in another workshop. So have a great day all, and I wish you all the best.